Greetings and welcome to the Astronomy Picture of the Day podcast. Today's picture for January 20th of 2025 is titled Comet Atlas Rounds the Sun. So what do we see here? Well, here we see the comet known as Atlas, and it just passed at its closest to the sun this past week and was very close to the sun and got very, very bright. Of course, meaning it's very close to the sun makes it very hard to see, because even though it's bright, it does not come close to matching the brightness of the sun. And when it's close to the sun in the sky, it will therefore be hidden. So it's there and would be visible maybe very early after sunset or right before sunrise, but it's going to be too close to the sun that the sky will have brightened enough by the time it gets enough above the horizon. Now, of course, that could change as it currently moves out from the sun and may be visible again as it moves away. And that would be primarily for those in the southern skies, making this one visible. Of course, as it gets farther away from the sun, it will also begin to fade. So will it get far enough away from the sun before it starts to fade too much to be visible? And that is a good question. And comets are notoriously hard to predict their brightness. So it's not really something we can say for sure. Now here we have a very colorful comet, and we can see the different colors within the tail that are highlighted by specific filters looking at this. And these are probably believed to be ion tails, which are tails of the comet that contain just individual ionized atoms within them. And the specific colors would then be related to those specific gases that are present there. So different gases perhaps present in different regions of the comet as they are outgassed and expelled out into space could give something like this, and then be highlighted by looking at this with various different colored filters. So the question to be able to see is whether this will be visible. And it's not something we're really going to be able to say at any point in the future until it actually happens. So here we get to see it. This is actually taken by the SOHO spacecraft, which imaged it and which is actually designed to image the sun. And actually you see the sun there where it's blocked out to hide its brightness so that we can actually see other things around it. And that allows us to see the comet, even though it was much closer to the sun at this point than Mercury. So we can keep an eye out and hope that it will stay bright as it gets farther away from the sun, and that it might become another comet visible to the naked eye, such as comets that we saw this past year. Now, one thing I did not mention is that I've mentioned the different colored tails, but if you also see the white tail there, that is what's called the dust tail. So the dust tail is just reflected sunlight. So these are slightly larger particles that scatter that light right back to Earth. So we're just seeing sunlight there, whereas the different colors are by atoms that are excited by the sunlight. So they're actually formed through two different processes. So that was our picture of the day for January 20th of 2025. It was titled Comet Atlas Rounds the Sun. We'll be back again tomorrow for the next picture, previewed to be long tails. So we'll see what that is about tomorrow. And until then, have a great day, everyone, and I will see you in class.